I would say the number one skill set we need is curiosity. Given that AI is very new, especially Gen AI, which is a revolutionary technology that's really transforming industries. Now with Gen AI, the pace of evolution is unprecedented, which means that we all need to constantly learn and be curious.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Data and AI Mastery podcast. Over the past few months, we've had the privilege of speaking with incredible leaders shaping the future of AI and data. And today's episode is no exception. A few weeks ago, Lloyds Banking Group partnered with Cambridge Spark to deliver an exclusive executive education engagement hosted at the Cambridge Judge Business School. The goal? To explore AI's transformative role in banking and equip industry leaders with the knowledge and skills to harness its full potential. While there, I had the opportunity to sit down with 4 of Lloyd's senior AI leaders for in-depth conversations about how they're driving AI adoption at scale. In this special compilation episode, you will hear from Trystan Davies, Group Head of Data Science, Ranil, Boteju, Chief Data and Analytics Officer, Rohit, Dhawan, Group Head of AI, and Cunningham, Group Head of Data and AI Culture. Together, they share real-world insights on AI's impact, the challenges of scaling it across a large organization, and why leadership buy-in is critical to making AI work. As you'll hear, AI isn't just a technology initiative, it's a business imperative. If you're looking to stay ahead in the AI revolution, this is an episode you won't want to miss. Let's dive in. AI is often spoken about as the future, but for Lloyds Banking Group, it's much more than that. It's a fundamental shift happening right now. Let's hear from Trystan and Ranil as they explain why AI isn't just a tool, it's a business-led transformation.
We firmly believe that the AI is a properly transformational capability. We've talked around kind of big, the power of steam, the power of electricity. Like AI is kind of seen as a real big transformational kind of initiative. And as I said, right, it's really important that that's led by the business. So, if we look at what we don't want to do is just to, sprinkle a bit of AI on what we do today. What we want to do is to really think and reimagine the bank with AI.
Do you know what? So the how we think about the AI strategy is really grounded in all of the mistakes people made with digital and mobile strategies 10, 15 years ago, right? So rewind 10 or 15 years ago, digital and mobile, that was the AI of back then, and everyone was digitizing stuff. And they'd do things like hire a chief digital officer and have a digital team. And then, you get little islands of digitization and mobile journeys, but it didn't really spread across an organization. And very soon people realize digital is everyone's job. Mobile is everyone's job. And, I don't think you'd find a chief digital officer in most large banks anymore. It's everyone's job. And so taking that learning to heart, and when it comes to AI, we recognize that if we want to scale AI, we need to have AI embedded into everything that we do. It can't be the responsibility of a central team. You need a central team to have a lot of the high-end skills, but our strategy is about enabling the whole business to consume AI services and create their own capabilities with that.
It's one thing to introduce AI into an organization. It's another to make it a core part of how the business operates. And at Lloyds Banking Group, that all starts with leadership. In this next segment, Trystan, Ranil, Rohit and Josh explain why leadership is the make or break factor in AI adoption, how they've secured top-down support at Lloyds, and why every leader, not just the AI team, needs to be fluent in AI.
It's absolutely critical that it's actually driven by the business. So you have to have that kind of, split between those two things. It's really important that ultimately it's the business kind of leadership that are driving, what is it that the business needs, kind of what's going to add value to the business. And that's kind of supported strongly by then the technical community that can help kind of how that gets done.
You need to have a top-down sponsor, right? So I'm very fortunate in Lloyds Banking Group, our CEO, Charlie Nunn, my boss, Ron Van Kemenard, the group exec committee, the board, they are all AI evangelists. They all get this. They understand that it's a transformational technology. And so I haven't really had the need to convince them. If you don't have that, before you do anything, convince the board, your CEO, your boss that this is something that's critical.
But what we also want to do is make sure that all the leaders in the organization, and we have, our top, 300 cohort of senior leadership team, we want to make sure that they're well versed with AI, which means that one, they understand what AI is, what the latest trends are, how AI is being deployed in the industry, and not just in banking, but in other industries as well. So ultimately, they should have the ability to spot AI opportunities, come up with solution hypotheses, and also build their own AI teams. Ultimately, we are creating a mechanism where we can proliferate AI leaders across the organization. I don't want to be the only AI leader in this organization. I want 10 other people like me driving AI initiatives in different parts of the bank. And we can only do that if we upskill and train our leadership team.
I've been broadly in the data management space for many years, and you know what, it's so difficult to get execs to want to have a conversation about data management, for example, right? It's less exciting than AI, for example, but actually what AI does beyond the direct benefits is it allows us to get a foot into the door with our execs to, let's talk about AI. Let's really make sure that you understand exactly what that is and what the enablers are. But guess what? That also, to be able to do these cool AI things, there's some dependencies, and one of those is data management, for example. So I think broadly it's about using this wave as a bit of an enabler, an opportunity to get across some of those other key messages as well.
AI's potential in banking goes far beyond automating routine tasks. It's about reimagining how an entire organization operates, from the way customers interact with the bank to how employees work behind the scenes. In this next segment, Trystan, Ranil, and Rohit break down how AI is transforming each of these areas. You'll hear about the future of banking, where customers engage with Lloyds through seamless AI-powered experiences, and how AI is being used internally to support employees, streamline operations, and even accelerate software development. But AI adoption at this scale doesn't happen by accident. It requires a structured approach. Lloyds is tackling this with a self-service AI platform designed to give business users the tools they need to innovate, while also ensuring the right guardrails are in place to maintain control and security. Let's hear how Lloyds is bringing this vision to life.
As part of our strategy, we're looking at AI across 5 broad cohorts. So we can see AI reimagining how we interact with customers, how we manage our operations, how our frontline colleagues interact and are supported, how our head office colleagues kind of access data and insight, and lastly, how our engineering cohort use and transform the way of working with AI. So we see AI really reimagining across all 5 of those areas. Some of the bits that I'm particularly passionate about are some of the customer interaction ones. So we can really, imagine a world where customers interact with the bank through a multimodal AI interface. So, where you can talk or speak or exchange images, and how you can use agentic AI in the background to manage and automate and fulfill a lot of those actions. That's something that we're working on at the moment, and I think it's super exciting.
We're creating a self-service platform. There's guardrails, but the goal is to enable business users, functions to consume those and really solve problems using AI. And for that to work, obviously they need to have the right skills, both technical and business. But that's the strategy, and it's really grounded in the learnings from digital and mobile from 10 or 15 years ago.
We want to infuse AI across all the different parts of the bank, whether it's our customer-facing channels, so that customers get the advantage of us using AI, so they can be served better. They can help find information quicker and more easily. At the same time, we are also leveraging AI for colleagues. So, think of, assistants or companions, that help our colleagues do their jobs better and introduce efficiency and autonomy in their processes. But we are also looking at leveraging AI for our builder community, our engineers, software developers, AI experts, to help them accelerate their models, their code, and the software development lifecycle as we know it at a much greater pace and speed.
AI transformation isn't just about having the right technology. It's about having the right people who understand how to use it effectively. And that starts with leadership. To make this happen, Lloyds has partnered with Cambridge Spark and the Cambridge Church Business School to launch a structured training program. It started organically with senior executives, including the CEO, volunteering for AI training, setting the example for the rest of the organization. Now, the initiative is being industrialized into a 6-month program designed to embed AI literacy at every level of leadership. In this next section, Trystan, Ranil, and Josh explain why leadership education is a cornerstone of Lloyd's AI strategy, and what the training program looks like, and how it's empowering leaders to reimagine the business with AI. Let's take a closer look.
We're bringing, some of those leaders together, the pilot cohort, to really kind of get that thinking in place. In terms of a collaboration, it's been a fantastic collaboration between, Cambridge Spark, Cambridge Church Business School, and the bank. Again, it's something that we're really, really passionate about in terms of bringing that outside-in thinking, combining kind of the best that's out there in terms of kind of the knowledge in this area, and getting our leaders to really think through what it means for them.
Last year we came up with a strategy, and we recognized step one is getting our senior leaders on board, and our CEO and his group executive committee, my boss and his broader team, they volunteered, right? So they role modeled. They spent 10 hours of training with that had been created by the PhDs in my team, right? So that is quite impressive. And when everyone else saw that they'd done that, everyone else signed up to it. So then we had 300 or 400 of the senior leaders seeing, hey, if the group chief operating officer, the CEO, they're spending all this time, we need to as well. So last year we went through an approach of doing that organically. What we recognized is for 2025, we want to industrialize that, right? So we've got this 6-month program with you guys to really focus on skilling the business leaders and some of the technical leaders about what do you need to have to reimagine your business in the context of the tech capabilities that we're building at Lloyds. So that's going to make a big difference.
So super, super crucial when leading any large-scale transformation that actually you get that absolute top-down buy-in. Now, I think in Lloyds, that's probably one of our key enablers, is going right the way up to our CEO, Charlie. He is an absolute advocate of being data-driven, leading with AI. That's kind of why we've coined one of our programs exactly that phrase, in terms of how do we equip not only our tech leaders, but actually our business leaders across the entire organization. So we're running a program with Cambridge Spark whereby we are partnering with Cambridge University, and we are taking all of our business leaders through a 6-month program, which will help them to really understand AI, not necessarily into the lower level technical detail. We don't expect our business leaders to code, for example, but actually having an appreciation of some of the trade-offs, some of the challenges, but then some of the really big opportunities within their business space. So that's what we're looking to achieve with that.
Successfully implementing AI at scale isn't just about having the right vision or leadership. It's about having the right skills, structures, and mindset to sustain innovation over time. In this next section, Ranil, Trystan, Rohit, and Josh explain how Lloyds is cultivating AI skills across all levels of the business, the role of curiosity in AI adoption, and how they measure success, not just in terms of efficiency, but in driving long-term business transformation. Let's hear what they had to say.
We're constantly talking to fintechs, to companies like Cambridge Spark, where looking at what's out there. So that's kind of really, really important. Also, within our teams, we've got really passionate people that are really curious themselves. Actually, we share a lot of that knowledge, what people have found. It's much easier doing it with a collection of 100 people kind of feeding in things than doing it all yourself. So there's some of the ways that we do that.
It is worthwhile investing in a center of excellence where you've got the high-end skills. You can incubate the new skills that come through, and you can sort of seed those skills into the business. If you've got all three, you've got a much better chance of success, but each has a slightly different training, recruitment, upskilling kind of profile that's required.
We do need a diverse range of skills to be successful with AI. I would say the number one skill set we need is curiosity. Given that AI is very new, especially Gen AI, right? I'm not talking about classic machine learning. I'm talking about the new world of generative AI, which is a revolutionary technology that's really transforming industries. Now with Gen AI, the pace of evolution is unprecedented, which means that we all need to constantly learn and be curious. And we want to make sure that We are abreast of the latest that's coming out of the innovation think tanks through R&D, from our vendors through the product companies through the startups, so that we can apply that technology within the construct of our business and within the scope of our functions. So that's, I would say, the number one skill that you need. But apart from that, we also need a bunch of hard skills, right? So you need to learn AI technology depending on what your role is. So if you are a builder of AI, you need to be well versed with AI architectures. You need to be well versed with the latest models. You also need to understand how to deploy an AI model into production, which is really important for a large and complex organization like Lloyds. If you are a user or consumer of AI, it makes sense to understand the 101 of AI, but have enough depth so you can understand how you can apply AI within the scope of your specific job, or how can you bring new ideas to the table. And if you're a leader, then it makes sense for you to develop new skills where you can create AI solutions in collaboration with the AI experts, so that you understand what will it take to deploy, implement, and scale that AI solution within the organization.
If you compare AI to other technology transformations, I think there is a bit of a trap of falling into only measuring, for example, productivity. Just really, I guess my encouragement to everyone would be to really think about the different dimensions of value, which might be productivity and efficiency, but actually could be risk avoidance, could be really enabling growth, for example. So I think having measures attached to that is really, really important. But then more broadly, defining the metrics and measures aligned to what is your business strategy, what are you trying to achieve, and then how will your measures help to enable that. So it might be that you have a metric or a measure around number of AI use cases, which is helpful to demonstrate that you are adopting the transformation, adopting the technology, but actually getting under the skin of those to say, what are the strategic objectives, what's our vision, what's the change, the behavior that we're trying to drive, and then actually let's attach measures to that sort of stuff.
AI transformation isn't just about launching a few projects, it's about delivering real measurable impact across the organization. And for Lloyds Banking Group, the focus now is on scaling AI in a way that benefits both customers and employees. What does success look like for Lloyds by the end of the year? In this final section, Rohit outlines the goals for AI adoption in the months ahead and explains how Lloyds is making AI not just a technology investment, but a core part of how the organization operates. Let's hear what's next for AI at Lloyds Banking Group.
So between now and end of the year, we are looking to deliver some significant impact from our top strategic use cases. That's number one. The second thing I'm looking forward to is making sure that we have enabled most of the organization on AI. Now, enablement comes in different shapes and forms, right? So we are enabling by training and upskilling people. We are enabling by onboarding people onto our AI platform. We're also enabling people by helping them understand what the mechanisms to deploy AI in the organization are. So I would say, between now and the end of the year, if we have delivered substantial business outcomes leveraging AI for customer interactions, for colleague assistance, and for our developers, and we have enabled most of the workforce in understanding what AI is and how to deploy AI or use AI within the scope of their job and their skill set, that'll be a big win for us.
We've covered a lot in this episode, from the transformative power of AI to the critical role leadership plays in making it a reality. We've heard how Lloyds Banking Group is embedding AI across the organization, upskilling its workforce, and ensuring that AI adoption is more than just a technology initiative. It's really a business-driven transformation. To wrap things up, I'm going to share my reflections on today's discussion, highlighting the biggest insights from our conversation with Lloyds senior AI leaders. Let's take a moment to reflect. Fantastic episode today, interviewing senior stakeholders at Lloyds Banking Group, and really excited about the takeaways that we've got. One thing that came super clear is actually the absolute clarity in the vision, the strategy, and the execution plan. The vision, reimagine the bank using AI. That's really inspiring. And other takeaways, it's ultra clear that in order to realize the value from your technology investment, you need a few critical success factors. Of course, you need your platform. Of course, you need your data and AI capabilities. But importantly, you need your people on the journey. You need the people in your workforce to have the right knowledge, the right skills, and the mindset to harness the value of AI inside the organization. Lloyds Banking Group is investing heavily in its workforce, investing in professional development programs across all roles. In particular, we hone down on how do you equip leaders to be part of that exciting journey. After all, AI has to come from the business rather than the technology. So it's really interesting to discuss their approach in executive education in collaboration with us at Cambridge Spark and the University of Cambridge to make it all happen. So thank you for tuning on this episode, a really special episode with Lloyds Banking Group, and see you next time. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Data and AI Mastery. If you found value in today's discussion, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an insight from the leaders driving the future of data and AI. And if you're a data and AI leader looking to upskill your workforce with the fundamental data and AI skills to transform your business, Cambridge Spark is here to guide you every step of the way. Be sure to reach out to us on LinkedIn or on our website, cambridgespark.com. Until then, be sure to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with data, and remember, mastery comes with continued learning and action. Until next time, stay ahead, stay inspired, and stay masterful.